there's been a lot of talk about Call of Duty versus Battlefield 6, or I should say Black Ops 7 versus Battlefield 6. And, you know, for me, from just looking at the trailers, right? The reveal trailer for Black Ops 7 versus the reveal trailer for, for Battlefield 6. I don't even think it's even a debate. I mean, the Battlefield 6 trailer it's reminding me so much, guys, of Call of Duty MW2 in 2009. It really does. And it should, to an extent, because the guy who helped make Modern Warfare 2 back in 2009 is working on Battlefield 6 in the form of Vince Zampella. And so, obviously, Vince went from MW2 to, over to EA, and he was working on Titanfall, created the Titanfall universe, and then, he's working on the Jedi titles over at, who was it? I mean, he's over at EA. I'm trying to remember the studio specifically, but nonetheless, then from the Jedi games now to Battlefield 6. But that title, Battlefield 6, looks like MW2 back in 2009. It really does. And Call of Duty Black Ops 7, from the reveal trailer at least, looks like Mass Effect, Halo, Stranger Things. I mean, barely looks at all like, Call of Duty. But once again, it's a teaser trailer. It might, who knows, the reveals are going to be coming out here shortly. But I think that this is going to be a great year for Battlefield. It'll be interesting to see with Black Ops 7, with their actual reveal, what that looks like at the, at Gamescom. But nonetheless, there was an article that came out. Call of Duty is firmly in its slop era, and now it's Battlefield 6's game to lose. I disagree with the first part, but the second part I think is 1,000% true. This is coming to us from PC Gamer in Morgan Park over there. It's incredibly impossible, increasingly impossible to ignore how ugly Call of Duty has become. In the last few months alone, Black Ops 6 and Warzone have been infiltrated by cell-shaded Beavis and Butthead, American Dad, Jay and Silent Bob, and the Ninja Turtles. Black Ops 6 is the latest casualty of Call of Duty slop era, a parade of cartoonish cosplays, dizzying VFX, and Party City dress-up skins that in just a few years have eroded an identity Activision spent 2 decades building. Now look, where I disagree with that is, yes, they're leaning more and more into, look, guys, here's the deal. Call of Duty, from a business perspective, what they're trying to do here is they're kind of done with the, we want our monetization to kind of fit the theme of Call of Duty. Now they're kind of more along the lines of, we just want COD to be for everybody. And so what they're kind of doing here is they're catering to more kids, right? They're looking at Fortnite, what Fortnite's doing with all the different collabs and, it's a way to make money and things of that nature. That's what they're doing here. Call of Duty is becoming the Fortnite of first-person shooters, is kind of what the vibe I'm getting from it. Does that mean that they're in the slop era? I thought Black Ops 6 was awesome. If you take away a lot of these, Beavis and Butthead, you take away the cheaters and the hackers and, if they would have added ranked play sooner and stuff, like that would have been awesome. But if you take away all this monetization stuff, at the core of what Black Ops 6 is a great Call of Duty. I think it's great. But what Battlefield looks to be doing, and we're going to have to wait and see, because we saw what happened with Battlefield 2042 and the disaster that was at launch. But from the looks of it, Battlefield 6 looks like MW2 2009. It looks like they're leaning into, we're making the more mature title. We want to bring, they're talking to all the, older gen Call of Duty fans who loved MW2, COD 4, Black Ops 2. That's who they're calling to. And I'm all for it, man, because I think there's a market for that. The market that Call of Duty is going for is, going to turn a lot of us, hardcore Call of Duty fans, off a little bit, I think. Even though if the game's great, we're still going to play it at the end of the day. But some of this stuff, yeah, is a little bit over the top. None of that is news, but how players are reacting to it is. Despite the popularity of absurd skins, there's a funk in the air. A lot of people are finally acknowledging the sorry state of Call of Duty, and they're particularly repelled by those Beavis and Butthead and American Dad skins that could have been ripped straight out of Fortnite. The straw might have finally broken the camel's back, and if that's the case, Call of Duty's oldest rival has an opportunity to put the military back in military shooters. I do agree that I think that they absolutely, Battlefield 6 has a massive opportunity to bring military back in military shooters, 1,000%. Call of Duty has kind of moved away from that, and they're leaning into, you know, let's be the Fortnite first-person shooter. You know, that's what they're leaning heavy into. And you know what? They're probably going to be super successful doing that, like, to be honest with you guys. But I'm just glad that you've got a company that's willing to stick to the military kind of shooter, because Battlefield 6, I'm going to keep saying it, guys, it looks like MW2 from 2009. That's what it looks like. EA's pitch for Battlefield 6 is essentially what bleary-eyed Call of Duty fans wish Activision had in mind. No named operators will alternate costumes, just generic, artistically consistent soldiers. It's going for simple, boots-on-the-ground, modern military fare, directly inspired by Battlefields 3 and 4. Battlefield 3, I think, was the greatest Battlefield ever created. So if it's anything like that, bro, like if it's like Battlefield 3 with some MW2 from 2009, we got ourselves a title. Will Battlefield 6 also have ugly crossover skins? Time will tell, but the last few Battlefields have shown some restraint from immersion-shattering outfits. Yep, I agree. Look, I think that will they do some kind of collabs or something? I'm sure they will, guys. I mean, sure, they're going to have like certain monetization. I just really want Battlefield to go this direction of earnable items over payable items. Make the earnable stuff that you get in the game, whether it's skins, whether it's emblems, titles, all of that stuff, make it cooler than the payable stuff. You can have the payable stuff there, that's fine. But just make it so that we've got to earn the stuff. The really cool stuff, like think of Halo Reach, where to get inheritor rank, you would get the skull mask. It was so sick. MW2, ranking up to get that 10th prestige medallion. You know, things like that are what make it just a incredible experience. And it keeps you on the game. So that's what I'm really hoping for. What we know is that Battlefield 6 play tests have looked darn good. Dusty urban maps, crumbly destruction upgrades, and no goofy wingsuits to be seen. Maybe time will prove me wrong, but I think it's telling that EA chose to announce Battlefield 6 with this key art. It's awesome key art, by the way. It's incredible. But Battlefield 6 is positioning itself as a throwback to simpler, slightly less greedy days for military shooters, and folks are latching onto it. But we'd be fools to be confident EA is going to stick the landing. As promising as BF6 looks, there are some red flags. Number one being an Ars Technica report that detailed EA's expectation that Battlefield 6 have 100 million players, a figure it plans to achieve by releasing a full-price Battlefield 6 alongside a free Battle Royale mode. Maybe there's an opening for Warzone players to jump ship, but Call of Duty prioritizing a free-to-play audience is part of the reason it's gotten so bad. I mean, with Battlefield, you know, doing this Warzone, or I should say Battle Royale mode, I thought they already did that with like Hellstorm, or whatever it was called, Firestorm. You know, I love that they're going to do this. I do, because I think that Battlefield as a BR could be really cool. I mean, we look at like, when you look at Battle Royales as a whole, you think to yourself, which games would be a great BR? To me, the number one I think would be incredible would be Halo, just with the drop pods and all that stuff. But I look at Battlefield as a second game, I think could be a really cool Battle Royale. Just because, think about it, the maps that are already in the multiplayer are larger maps in scale. So having a map that's really like just bigger, but you know, create something, you know, I'm sure they could come up with some really compelling ideas here. And so I'm okay with them doing a BR. 100 million players, that's a staggering number. And this is where I get concerned with EA. I trust, like, what DICE, or I should say, like, I trust that they're going to get it right, especially with Vince Impella over there, like, helping out with Battlefield 6. But EA, that's where you get concerned, because it's similar to Activision. You know, there's always something underlying that you got to worry about. There's a matter of then there's a matter of classes. EA took a beating online after revealing Battlefield 6's weapons would be open to all classes like in Battlefield 2042. A deeply unpopular change among longtime fans that many assumed would be reversed given BF6's throwback posture. This week, EA finally caved, saying an upcoming open beta would have playtests with closed and open weapon formats. Hey, listening to the feedback is cool, but if Battlefield Studios leadership was that caught off guard by an impactful design choice people feel strongly about, you wonder what other tripping hazards are out there. Look, guys, there's going to be monetization, period. I mean, look, it's a part of gaming now. This is where gaming's gone. There will be monetization tactics here, without question. The question, though, is it going to be as over the top and ridiculous as it is with Call of Duty? I don't think it will be. I don't. And look, I'm willing to, you know, if you're going to have a lot of like really cool earnable things that keep me on the game, and, you know, the monetization is just kind of like pure cosmetic stuff or whatever, I'm totally down with it, you know, but I just don't want it to be cooler than the earnable stuff that you can get in the game. But anyways, it's super unlikely that Battlefield 6 will come out swinging so hot it outsells Black Ops 7. Yeah. But as far as the cultural victory, this is Battlefield's year to lose. I agree. You know, the last time Call of Duty and Battlefield faced off was 2021, a weak year for COD that EA fumbled with an even weaker Battlefield 2042 launch. 100%. I think that this could be a great year for these two going up against each other. It sounds like Black Ops 7 is going to be coming out like in November, and then it sounds like Battlefield, I believe, is going to be coming out like in October. Now, we don't know for sure yet, guys. A lot of these are leaks and stuff. Black Ops 7 losing, though, in terms of getting outsold, I highly doubt it, because Black Ops 7 is going to be coming to Game Pass, right? You know, day one. And so Battlefield 6 is going to have an uphill battle there unless it releases maybe on like the PlayStation Premium Plus day one or something. But Black Ops 7, I think, is going to outsell Battlefield 6. But the question is will Battlefield 6 just have longer legs, right, over time, where you got a lot of people coming over to Battlefield just to try it out, and then they've got the BR coming out, and then, you know, if Black Ops 7 flops, doesn't do really well. I mean, Call of Duty has a ravenous fan base at this point, guys. So I'm not anticipating them losing to Battlefield, but I think Battlefield can definitely earn some players. 100 million is a lot for them, a huge expectation there. But nonetheless, I mean, I'm very excited about Battlefield 6, guys. I really am. I'm going to be keeping my eyes very, very stuck to the screen when it comes to Battlefield 6, as well as Black Ops 7. I'm excited about both of these, you know, even though Black Ops 7, you know, my anticipation level went down a couple of notches with that, you know, teaser trailer. My anticipation went up a number of notches with Battlefield 6. But the question is for all of you, what do you guys think about this? Battlefield 6 versus Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Who's going to win here at the end of the day? And do you think that this is a huge opportunity for Battlefield 6 to get 100 million players, or like just really start catching up to Call of Duty and maybe not be the COD killer, but could it, you know, start slowly creeping on Call of Duty? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and let us know your thoughts.